Hello, Facebook family. It's Chris Smith, your CEO here at FMCA, reporting live from balmy Cincinnati, Ohio. We're in the middle of a heat wave right now. Matt Eater with Custom Glass Solutions is our guest, and he's in Ohio as well, so he's feeling our pain at this point. But welcome, Matt. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us on this afternoon.
Yeah, so for those of you not familiar, this is our kind of monthly spotlight on a member benefit partner. This month it's Custom Glass Solutions. Well, Matt, I guess to start off, maybe tell us a little bit about Custom Glass Solutions.
Sure. Thanks, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So Custom Glass Solutions is a manufacturing company at its core. We make glass products for various vocational vehicles. It's primarily windshields, but we make other glass systems as well. We like to say anything that's not a car or a pickup truck and moves, chances are we provide glass systems for it. So it's everything from heavy truck to buses, to subways, trains, construction and agricultural equipment, and of course, recreational vehicles. So CGS really started by making glass for RVs and for heavy trucks at our Upper Sandusky facility back in 1974. Folks then knew us as Guardian, and we've been a part of Guardian obviously since then. We were recently divested in 2017, but it's still the same people, still the same products, so still synonymous with Guardian. Today we have 3 facilities in Ohio, 1 in Pennsylvania, and 1 in Oklahoma.
Awesome. So Matt, what role do you play in the partnership with us?
Absolutely. So I am the general manager of our network business. We are in insurance lingo, a third-party administrator. So I run that business for Custom Glass Solutions. And back in 2016, working with your former sales manager there, Chris, Mr. John Renda, worked with John and yourself, of course, and past president Charlie Adcock to develop this program, which we formally introduced in 2017. So it's my baby, right? It was something that I helped create and have a fond place in my heart for it. So I stay very involved. Obviously, it's my team on a day-to-day basis that's talking with your members, but certainly keep myself very involved. And on the rare occasion that something goes a little haywire, I certainly get myself involved. But you'll see me at the conventions talking to the folks, right? This is something that's very important to myself and to Custom Glass Solutions.
Yeah, if you're ever looking for playing cards, Matt will let you take as many decks as you would like. And I can vouch, going back to kind of the start of it, past president Charlie Adcock was kind of he had some connections in the auto RV glass world, and he put you through the grinder. So trust me, this has been well vetted, and we're dealing with a top-notch company. I guess maybe just before we get into detail, maybe just give us kind of the 50,000-foot view. What is the member benefit?
Sure. So it's part of the reason I love going to the conventions is we're not really selling anything, right? There is no cost. There is no fee. It's part of your FMCA membership. And, FMCA has done a wonderful job providing benefits for their members. And this is just another one. We're sort of a passive insurance policy for your glass. And it's not truly insurance, but we're only here if you need us. So that is why we hand out those decks of cards, right? We've got our contact information all over. But if you have problems with your glass, right? You take a rock to the windshield, you've got foggy side glass, whatever the case may be, We've got a dedicated phone number, dedicated URL as well for folks to reach out, and we're going to help you through the process, whether it includes an insurance claim or not. If you're just looking to buy glass, we can help you with that as well. But we put our knowledge and our expertise to work for you. We try and make the process as painless as possible. And at the end of all of that, as our thank you for working with us, we're going to take care of a year of your membership for you.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, but maybe go into more detail. What advantage do you see an FMCA member going through your company to get a windshield replacement versus maybe trying to do it on their own through their insurance? Kind of what do you see as the advantage?
Sure. So there are a few things. First of all, our service. We have a group of RV experts here, RV glass experts who really care about helping people, right? We know in a lot of cases we're helping the oldest generation, and that's something, I take seriously, my staff takes seriously. But regardless of age, regardless of demographic, right, we're here to provide a service, and it's something we take very seriously. So, to have somebody on your side, right, acting as an advocate on your behalf, I think is one of the key benefits. Another key benefit is the access to our network of vendors. In our database, we have more than 15,000 glass shops that we're aware of around the country. Of those 15,000, roughly 3,000 or so are preferred providers. These are folks that we have vetted and that we know they know how to do RV, because RV is a very different animal than automotive. You need different equipment, you need more manpower, right? You need some knowledge, you need some expertise. So the ability to have access to, our network of shops is another key benefit. And then, the interface with insurance. We work with all major insurance carriers. We know their processes. We know their guidelines. In a lot of cases, we've helped develop those processes and those guidelines with those carriers. So instead of trying to navigate some of that on your own, when it can be a painful process, let us help you, right? Let us work you through that process. We know what it takes to get a claim approved. We can certainly, get things done as efficiently as anybody can, and certainly faster than most would be able to do on their own. So it's that combination of, I'm going to say, sort of compassionate service, right? We understand people are in a pickle. It's the only reason they're calling us. Let us take our knowledge, our expertise, and put it to work for you.
Yeah. What was your approval rating? 98% or something?
Yeah. So,
ballpark.
No, you've got it. Nice memory there. We're at year to date, we're running at 98.3% customer service approval rating. And it's not just, us talking to one or two people. We have an individual on our staff who's dedicated to surveying folks. So we get nearly a 50% response rate. So we're talking to almost one of every two customers that we're working with. Mm-hmm. And that 98% is a top box score. So at the end of the survey, we're asking a 1 through 5 question, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. That 98% means 98 out of 100 folks gave us a 5. So it's something we're very proud of. I know a lot of people talk about it and really kind of espouse customer service. I would tell you, give us a try, and you'll see, you'll feel, and you'll hear a difference in the service.
Yeah. You want to talk about if someone chooses to go with custom glass, kind of talk about the warranty information for the products and the installation itself?
Sure. So each manufacturer has a little different warranty on glass products. So Part of it depends on where the glass comes from. If it is a CGS product, a CGS windshield, we are providing a 15-month warranty from the date of purchase, and that means that the glass will be free of defects for that time. The reality of the situation is that most of the time it's not the glass that's going to give you trouble, right? It is the craftsmanship, the labor aspect of the replacement. And our warranty there is a little different. Most warranties you would get typically come directly from a glass shop, from the vendor. So let's just say you get work done in Florida and now you're in Texas and you've got a problem with your windshield. Well, you call that shop in Florida and they're going to say, sure, bring your RV in. We'll be happy to help you out. Where we're a little different is we understand you're in the middle of a trip, right? And it's not necessarily convenient for you to turn around and head back to Florida to get that issue figured out. So we're going to find a shop where you are in Texas or wherever you may be in the country. We're going to find a shop that can help you get your issue taken care of, get it resolved. And on the back end, we're going to go back to that shop in Florida and try and recoup some of our costs. But we take on that burden. We don't pass that burden on to you.
Yeah, and you touched on it before. I think it's huge to have you guys as a resource of who's going to do quality work and who isn't. Because, like you said, the issue is not the glass. Anyone can make glass. It's really, like you said, the installation, the time, the expertise, and you guys have done your homework on these places, and kind of, like you said, you have preferred providers, and so I think that's another, like you said, important aspect of what you guys provide.
Well, and it's a great point, Chris, because if we were sending folks to shops that didn't know what they were doing, who were screwing up work, who were damaging people's coaches, right, that would be reflected in our customer service scores. You would see it, we'd hear about it. It does nobody any good to go to just any old glass shop who says they can do RV. You really gotta vet them and understand and know that they know what they're doing, because if they don't, things can get ugly really quick.
Yeah, it's kind of like calling a tow company to tow a 40-foot motorhome, and they don't have the capability and have no idea how to do it. That can turn out pretty bad. So
that's it.
Yep.
I mean, some of these one-piece windshields weigh upwards of 150 pounds, right? And you just think about that, and some guy who thinks he's going to do it by himself, on a ladder. We've seen some crazy stuff, but you can just imagine what it looks like and the feeling you have in the pit of your stomach when you realize there's no way they're going to be able to get this done, or if they get it done, it's not going to be a good job. So that is a key piece to what we're offering.
Yep. All right, let's say a member has an issue with their windshield. You want to kind of walk through the process of how they take advantage of this member benefit.
Absolutely. So, again, we're handing out those Dexa cards with our phone number on the box in the deck, right? We are asking people, asking FMCA members to call us first. We're going to call your insurance company, assuming you want to file a claim. We're going to call your insurance company with you on the line so that you get to hear the whole conversation. We're going to get a claim initiated with that carrier, and then we're going to take it from there. But we're not trying to do anything. We want you on the phone. We want you to hear how the process goes. If you call your insurance company first, which is kind of the instinctual thing to do, and we get that. If you call your insurance company first, tell them you want to work with Custom Glass Solutions, and even more specifically, tell them Custom Glass Solutions is your shop of choice. When they hear that type of language, they have to honor your choices, your wishes in terms of who you work with. So if you tell them that, they will dispatch the claim to us, and then one of our representatives will be in touch with you and take you through the process from there. So one way or another, you can get to us. We think it's easier for everybody involved if you come to us first. But if you don't, just make sure you tell your company, your insurance company, that you want to work with Custom Glass Solutions. In some cases, they work with us and they were going to send you to us anyhow. In other cases, they may recommend or suggest other vendors. You just tell them you'd prefer to work with Custom Glass Solutions.
Okay. As far as cost, is there any cost outside of maybe the insurance claim or the deductible or anything like that? No other out-of-pocket cost?
9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, there are not. Assuming that a member files an insurance claim, they are only responsible for their deductible if they have a deductible. Certain states and certain carriers waive deductibles for glass damage. There are some carriers that do not cover gaskets, and that's one of the only times where additional out-of-pocket costs are incurred, is if a gasket needs to be replaced. Besides that, going through the insurance route, you're responsible for your deductible and nothing more. Now, obviously, if you're just looking to buy a piece of glass, or maybe you've got a side window or a tempered window that you don't want to file an insurance claim, obviously you've got to pay for the cost of those products and those services. But again, if you're filing an insurance claim, you are only responsible for your deductible if you have one.
Okay. So when someone goes to call you, what information do they need?
So we will need, standard kind of contact information, right? Name, phone number, email address. We'll probably take your address at that point. We're going to ask you some questions about where you are currently, where you want the work done, right? Are you in the middle of a trip and you're heading home in a week or two, or off to your next stop, right? We're going to try and figure out where the work has to be done. We'll need your insurance company and your policy number, which we would gather as we're calling the insurance company from there. A lot of carriers these days are requiring photos of the damage. We don't necessarily need that immediately for that first phone call, but more than likely that is something that we're going to be asking folks for. Beyond that, that's really it. We need to know we can get back in touch with you. We're going to ask you whether you prefer phone or email, or even text. We now have the ability to text our customers, but we need to know we can get back in touch with you, and we need to know your make and model, obviously, so that we can start doing some research on the glass and a replacement product for it.
Is there kind of a typical or guaranteed time frame from the time someone calls to actually getting the installation done, or an average maybe time?
So that's a great question. No two claims look the same. On a Class A replacement, the honest answer is you're looking at typically between 3 and 4 weeks to get the whole process from start to finish done. Sometimes we can get it done faster. Depends on where the glass is located, but especially the one-piece windshields, they're just too big for glass shops to keep in stock. So you don't find shops that have an inventory of these parts. So we have to ship the glass. And so with freight being what it is these days, it's a little bit challenging at times to move that glass around the country. Now we do have a distribution footprint that helps us minimize that turnaround time in terms of shipping, but 2 to 3 weeks is aggressive. Obviously, we're trying to get it done as fast as we can, but I would say 3 to 4 weeks is more the norm on a Class A replacement. Some B's and C's we can do faster. Those windshields do typically, well, we have some shops that keep those in stock. So there's less shipping that has to take place for those. And then obviously windshield repairs we can get done typically within a week's time. Tempered glass, that's a whole nother beast. Those can take anywhere from 4 weeks to 4 months. Those are really kind of hit or miss in terms of product availability, and it takes a long time to get the appropriate measurements and know exactly what we're dealing with on the tempered side. Those are longer lead time claims for certain, but by and large, the folks who are working through those replacements kind of understand the complexities and the challenges associated there. But we do our best to set appropriate expectations, right? One of the first things we're looking at is, where is the member, right? Where are they, and where do we have the glass in stock? And so if they are in, let's just say Phoenix, and we have the glass in stock right there in Phoenix, we might be able to get it done in a week, right? We do have instances where things work out that quickly and that well. But we also have the flip side, right? We've got folks who go to Alaska and they're in Alaska, and we've got to ship a piece of glass to them from, Ohio or Phoenix. And it can take 7 to 10 days, 10 days to 14 days to just get a piece of glass there. So, we're always trying to get it done as fast as we can, but we're also communicating and setting expectations in terms of that turnaround time.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is don't waste your time. if you have a windshield issue, call Custom Glass as quick as you can.
And that just is it. And so many people have had experiences with their cars, and their cars can get done sometimes next day, sometimes a few days. It's just not the same with RVs. So what you said, Chris, is right. Call as soon as you've got an issue. Get us on the case as fast as you possibly can. But don't have any misconceived notions that we can get it done overnight, because it's not the way it works, unfortunately.
Yeah. How many FMCA members do you guys assist, you think, per year, roughly?
So we tick along typically between 20 and 25 a month. So we're, working with 250, 300 FMCA members every year. I think that's a pretty solid number.
Okay. Is there an RV age limit? So anyone, no matter the age of the RV, can use your service, and okay, that's good. A lot of things we provide, there is a kind of an age limit. So
no, and it's another one of the advantages of working with Custom Glass Solutions, right? We've been making these products since 1974. Nobody has the product offering that we do. We are the original equipment provider on more than 80% of Class A's on the road today. So chances are, depending on your coach, it came off the factory line with our windshield installed as the original equipment. So, if anybody's going to have a shot at having the product, even for some of those older coaches, it's us. I've been shocked at some of the ones that we've had, the old Wonder Lodges and some of the MCI buses that go way back. We've got some of those parts in stock. So, it is another benefit. Sometimes it's a challenge, right, to find some of these parts and to source some of the parts. But again, we've got a pretty extensive product offering, and chances are reasonably good that we've got the part in stock.
You said 80% of RVs?
Class A RVs, yes, sir.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yes, sir.
That's impressive, yeah. The last question I had on my list, and you've kind of touched on some of it, but I think just putting it in one spot here and kind of creating the list. 2-part question. So what issues do you guys are you able to assist with? And what are some that you're not able to assist with that you get questions on pretty often?
So there's really not anything that we can't assist with. There are occasions when you get into typically some of the older coaches, some of the side windows are obsolete. The manufacturer no longer offers them. The window manufacturer no longer offers them. So we do run into some situations where, we can't find the factory replacement. And so sometimes we have to cut and temper a piece of glass to put it back into a tempered framed unit. But if it's a chip repair, if it's a crack, if it's a replacement, really there's not much that we can't help with. It's just some of those obscure parts, again, typically on older coaches that can give us trouble. But the reality is they're going to give everybody trouble. So that I can't really think of anything that I would say we can't do. The one caveat I would make is that windshield repairs don't qualify for the year's membership, nor does buying a product directly from us, right? Those are the only two sort of exceptions to it. If you've got tempered work you need done, if you've got a replacement you need done, and we help you through the entire process, you're eligible for that year's membership. So I can't really think of anything. We have made a pretty concerted effort to grow our expertise and our knowledge and improve our process on those tempered parts. And that's in large part because of the feedback we get from the conventions. And, the second part of your question was, what do we get asked about? That's it. It's those foggy side windows, right? I would bet, we kind of consider ourselves a windshield company, but I would bet it's 10-1. Foggy side windows, right? Broken tempered.
Yep.
To windshields. So, we get those questions all the time. Can we help? How do we help? Would we buy new? Would we repair existing? Right? We get those questions all the time. And it really did drive us to try and focus on that part of the industry, that part of the segment, because of what we were hearing at the conventions, right? It's a problem for folks, and we want to be able to help if we can.
Well, I think that covers everything I was going to ask. I don't see any comments. So is there anything else, Matt, we didn't touch on you wanted to talk about?
No, the only other thing that I would mention, right, we talked about the fact that we've got facilities in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma. We are the only manufacturer who is making RV windshields here in the United States, and it's something we're pretty proud of, to be able to have manufacturing jobs right here in the heartland. So if it's not a CGS product, if it's not Custom Glass Solutions glass, it is coming from overseas. That's not a knock on those products at all, but it is something we're pretty proud of, that we make those parts here. And I can tell you, with what we're seeing kind of macroeconomically today and with what's going on in the world, having that availability right here in the States is also a big benefit. So just, it's my opportunity to sort of be patriotic and, wave the flag a little bit, because it is something we're proud of. And again, it's something we really enjoy about being at the conventions, right? All of the veterans that you see and get to talk to, and we take the opportunity to say thank you for the service. It's something that's important to us. So one other nugget I'd throw out there.
Yeah, I think Made in America, as you know, again from being at a convention, I think that is definitely a selling point to membership, and I know they appreciate that. Well, Matt, like I said, I don't see any comments. So we did drop in the comment section kind of the link to the page on the website where they can learn more about the program. Just in case they need a refresher on anything we discussed here. That's all I got, Matt.
Excellent.
You did so well. There's nothing that needs to be clarified. Well done, sir.
Well, they've got our phone number. They've got the website. Give us a call, right? You can get to me, right? Just ask for Matt. I'm the only Matt here, and they will forward you along to me. Obviously, happy to talk to folks, happy to answer questions. We know when we send out an email blast that it drives phone calls, it drives inquiries. So, we're happy to answer any questions folks may have, but certainly appreciate the time, Chris, and always good to talk to you, and appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about this member benefit. Again, been going on since 2017. It's something we're pretty proud of. So really appreciate the time and the opportunity here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. And if I don't talk to you, I'll see you in Lincoln.
See you in Lincoln. Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys. Till next month. We'll see you.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.